Hello and welcome to this video where I'm going to show you how people like me and you can start freelancing using Cursor. Cursor is one of the most powerful and widely used AI tools in the world, and it's used by entrepreneurs and engineers to charge money to their clients for developing software. In this video, I'm going to show you how regular people like me and you can make more money than entire development agencies using the power of Cursor. The barrier to entry is very low because AI has made the playing field very level. So regular people can make enormous amounts of money because of the leverage that AI tools like Cursor give us. So in this video, we're going to amplify our productivity, amplify our economic value, and make huge amounts of money. And I'm going to show you my entire process, my entire homegrown process for freelancing with Cursor and making a lot of money. All right, so let's get down to business because there's a lot of things that I need to teach you before you can start making money with this freelance strategy. So the first thing is client acquisition. How do you actually find clients and people and businesses that are willing to pay you high amounts of money for the services that we're offering? And this is the toughest part of any business. So I'm going to share some tips and strategies that have worked for me, and they should work for you as well. So the first is look for clients in places where people and businesses have higher spending abilities. So this is places like the United States, Europe, Japan, and Australia. And these locations have businesses with higher revenues and they can spend more money on these types of services such as software, the ones that we're offering. So I'd recommend looking for clients in those locations. So when you're targeting clients, reaching out to clients, you want to go for those locations. Now that being said, I would still recommend looking for clients in other places as well, and I'll tell you why. So if you go to places like Latin America and India, while they may have individually lower spending abilities, the volume of businesses and people and clients is much higher. You're going to find a lot more people that are businesses and clients that would want the same service. It's just that they're going to spend less money. So if you're just starting out, I'd recommend that you go for the entire international market and try and get as many clients as you can because you're going to get referrals, you're going to get experience, and you're going to get a little bit of money as well. So I'd recommend going for the entire world. Now let's talk about something that's going to differentiate you from your competitors in the freelance game, and that is AI models. It's something that's often overlooked, but we're going to cover it. So AI models are going to make a very big difference in your freelance strategy. And the reason for that is that AI models vary a lot in terms of their capabilities and their costs. So a model like GPT 5.5 or Opus 4.8, which are flagship models, these are going to get the job done very quickly and very efficiently, but they're also very, very expensive. So you want to try using some cheaper models as well, like Haiku or Kimi K2.5. And these models, because they're cheap, you can do a lot of iterations. So I can keep telling it to fix things and change things, and it's still going to be a fraction of the cost of what a flagship model would have done perfectly. So if you're willing to put in the effort, I'd recommend using cheaper models because this gives you a bigger margin. It allows you to make more profit. But that being said, if you have the money and you're willing to focus on just getting the best quality as soon as possible, you can surely go for any of the flagship models like Opus 4.8 and GPT 5.5. And that's what I do personally. So essentially, it's all about maximizing your margins by using models effectively and efficiently and using the right model at the right place for the right task. If you can do that, you're going to have high margins, and having high margins is going to make you a more competitive freelancer because when it comes to crucial deals and crucial clients, you can reduce your price comfortably because you already have such high margins because you're managing the models the right way, you're using the right models at the right places. So that's what you want to do. Now let's get started with building our application and looking for clients. All right, so I'm here on a freelancing website called Freelancer. And there's a lot of other freelance sites out there like Fiverr and Upwork that you want to go to so you can look for jobs where we can actually work and get paid. This is a great way to start if you don't have inbound lead generation where clients reach out to you. You'll get that eventually once you have a name in the market and your clients start referring you, and it's a very successful strategy. But in the beginning, you're going to have to look for clients yourself. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a project that is high paying and suits me and is easy and something that is feasible for me to build. So this project is very nice, a 3D city platform, but it's $2,239 and it's a lot of intensive effort. So I'm going to skip this and I'm going to move on to something that I think I can actually do and it's within my effort range. Right here I see one, which is e-commerce website for road service. So they just want me to build a website for their road service. They do some work about with cars and diesel mechanics, trailer, whatever it is. And they want us to build a website for them. So what we're going to do is we're going to take their requirements, we're going to put that into Cursor, we're going to iterate on that, and then we're going to use that to our advantage in the freelance game. And I'm going to show you how. So let's head over to Cursor and let's build this website. So what you'll find I've done here is I've taken the client's requirements for their mobile diesel mechanic and roadside service company. They want a website for this company showing the services they offer, So what they do is they provide repairs for trucks, trailers, commercial fleets, buses, and RVs. And they want us to create a professional, modern website for them with the home pages, about us pages, services pages, and contact, and all of the basic stuff in a website. So if we head back over to Chrome, the average bid for this is almost $500. So you can make a lot of money just by building websites like these, just simple websites. As long as you maintain high quality, you fulfill the client's requirements, you're all set. You can make a lot of money. And if you do this at scale, if you find 10 clients like this, that's $5,000. And it's not going to take too much effort. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to hit enter, and we're going to let Opus 4.8 build this entire application out for us. So let's wait for Opus 4.8 to build this website, and I'll be back when it's done. I'm not going to do anything. Opus 4.8 is going to build the entire website from scratch for me. I'm not going to touch it. Now, I'm pretty sure most of you are familiar with how Cursor works, so I'm not going to go into too much detail on what it's doing. But for those of you who don't, you can see it's writing all of the code by itself. It's doing exactly what we told it to do. So it built the home page, now it's building the different pages. You can see it's writing all of this code. It built some JavaScript, some CSS for the design. So it started with the design. So it has a to-do list of everything that it needs to do, and it's doing all of those things. So this is absolutely incredible. It's following through on everything that we put in the prompt, and it's completely autonomous. I have to do nothing. It's doing everything by itself. So service pages are done. Now it's moving on to the service areas and contact pages. So it's doing everything by itself. I'm just sitting back and waiting for it to build the entire website for me. So that is how easy this is. Think of doing this at scale. It is really, really efficient because you are building really high quality websites for clients with minimal effort. And you do this at scale, you're gonna close a lot of clients and you're gonna make a lot of money. Okay, so Cursor has built the entire application for us, and what you can see here is that it's exactly the vibe that we want. So for a roadside mechanic, this is exactly the vibe that I would envision when I'm thinking of a website. And it has everything that the client asked for. So it lives up to all of the requirements that the client mentioned. And now what we're gonna do is we're going to deploy this to make it really nice for the client. And then I'm gonna show you why deploying it and why this entire process puts us ahead of everyone else competing for the same project and for the same job. So now I'm gonna show you the easiest and quickest way that you can deploy the website that we've just built for our client. So I have the GitHub repo right over here. I didn't know how to set that up, so I just told Cursor to help me set up a GitHub repository. And now I have a GitHub repository right here. So I set it up as private and then I converted it into a public repository. So now we have a public repository for this website with all of the code. So I'm gonna head over to Instapods, which is one of the best ways to deploy in a very quick and seamless manner. So you just wanna set up an account, app.instapods.com, and I'm here on my dashboard. So I'm gonna head over to this GitHub section and we're gonna paste the GitHub repo link that we just copied right over here. I'm gonna click on detect. And as you can see, it's detected the static index.html. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on continue. All right, so I'm here and I'm not gonna change too much. So it's giving me my pod name. I'm gonna keep that as the same, a region as Europe. And I'm gonna go with launch for now. So deploy fast, pay little, perfect for prototypes and side projects, which is exactly what this is. So I'm gonna click on deploy now, and it's going to create our pod and it's going to deploy our website for us. And so now that this is deployed, all I have to do is click on this visit button and it takes me to this link which I can share with my client. So this was a one-click deployment. It was a seamless, very easy deployment process with Instapods. So that's all we have to do. So now we can share this link with our client. The client can access it just by going to this link. They'll be able to access the website that we just built. So this is the exact same website. So that's how easy deploying it with Instapods is. Special shout out to Instapods for sponsoring this video. So if you want to try out Instapods for your applications and deploying your websites, I'll leave a link down in the description and you can get started. So what exactly have we done all of this for? Well, the reason is very simple. It's just to close the deal with the client. And what we've done is we've differentiated ourselves from our competitors. And the way we've done that is by building the entire application and deploying it. So most of the other freelancers who are bidding for the same job or competing for the same project, they will not build the entire application and then deploy it and then pitch it to the client. They're gonna first wait for the deal to get closed, then they're gonna either manually code it or maybe vibe code it, but they're not gonna do that beforehand. And so by doing it beforehand, we have an advantage because it shows the client that we are committed to the project way more committed than anyone else because we've already built it before receiving any money and we've deployed it for them. So the client will just suggest feedback and changes and we implement them and the deal is done. We implement those changes and the deal is done. So this is the advantage. Now, if you try this with, let's say, 100 different clients, you're bound to close at least some of them. And the profits from that easily outweigh any money that you've spent on tools like Cursor, because Cursor costs money as well when you're building all of these websites and applications, but it's insignificant compared to the money that you're going to make if you manage to sell these websites, which you definitely will if you have enough scale, if you target enough clients. So that is this strategy essentially. That is what this whole strategy revolves around. So thank you for watching. I hope this strategy helps you. Let me know if it works for you, if you've tried it out, any thoughts that you have, any feedback that you have on the video, any suggestions for future videos, let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching and peace.